Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts. I'm your host, Dan. Today is episode 21, and we've got ourselves a co-host today, my good friend, Darren, who's graciously accepted to join me today to discuss our top five or our top Alice Cooper album. Doesn't really matter if it's in order or not. So we'll be discussing that. So welcome to the show. My first guest. Yay.
I'm a big fan. I watch all the episodes. I know the format.
Thank you.
And
You
I
know
don't
the
have
format,
Grand
right?
Marnier. Yeah.
He's got the Grand Marnier there.
Actually, this is Southern Comfort, starting a new trend.
There you go.
So, and then
there you go. Oh, yours is a different tone.
I know we got a harmony going.
More lower. But anyway, that's good there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's gonna happen here is, like I said, well, first of all, Darren, like when did you first get into Alice Cooper?
I was 7 years old, and I got my first Alice Cooper and Kiss records within a week of each other, and it just changed my life. Right, they were like my superheroes. So that set me on the path to where I am today. Really, it was just amazing how much of an impact that had.
I know.
You know,
myself was before I was just Kiss. Like, don't talk to me about anything else. And then for some reason, we all watched the Power Hour, right? And I saw the Freedom video.
Oh,
so I bought the cassette. So I had 10 cassettes of Kiss and one Raise Your Fist and Yell. And then he was coming to Ottawa for the Trash tour. So I'm like, okay, I bought that one. And that's what started me buying everything else. But that was in '89. That was my first concert ever.
Really?
Was Alice Cooper Trash.
Wow. Really?
So and then I went backwards and I'm like, holy crap, like, okay, Trash is good for what it is. It got me into buying all the stuff.
Yeah.
Then I went backwards. I'm like, oh my, what is this song? What is that song? Like Elected. I'm like, oh my God, that's the best song ever.
not to mention the different theatrical aspects of each part of his career for the show. And I before we even get into that, I'll say I miss the days when you could buy one album that had everything on it. Like, it could be orchestral, it could be heavy rock, a ballad, it could have everything on one album, and
he does that all right. He's all over the place. He made me like violins.
Oh yeah. I can imagine.
And brass instruments too. Like, there's a lot of those in there. So what was your, did you ever, you saw him live? What was the first one you saw live?
Well, I've actually lost count. You're probably like me. I bet you keep your ticket stubs.
Yes, I got that. I should make an episode of just my ticket stubs.
I was gonna say that would be a good. I was thinking that today. I was like, I should dig through and see, but I mean, that would take me forever. I've lost count of how many times I've seen Alice, but I can tell you that the first one was the Constrictor tour.
Oh, really?
So, because that was kind of his big comeback in the 80s. And was it ever, like, to me, this is to show my teenage brain, I was thinking, man, Alice Cooper's coming. This might be my last chance to see him. Like, and think of how long he's still going.
And here we are in 2022, and he's going to Peterborough like next week, I think.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I loved that show. It was because it was very theatrical at that time. Teenage Frankenstein. He had this robot come to life. And,
I still don't know how he did that, because I
don't either.
I have the DVD, and I'm looking. I'm looking. You could see through it's like a table.
Yeah, I wish he'd still do that. I don't know.
Yeah, that was great. So I guess you saw like Paul Taylor and Kip Winger III then alive.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Kane Roberts, obviously.
Kane Roberts.
And Ken Mary, I think, was a drummer.
Ken Mary's a monster drummer, man. Yeah. He was great.
That was a great, like, I have the DVD of that, the one in Detroit there.
Yeah. I've seen it. I don't have that, but that's, I should. What's cool about YouTube now is that every now and then I'll think of a show that I know that I went to see, like in Ottawa or Toronto or wherever.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll just type it in and somebody film that show. So it's kind of cool to go back and see,
exactly.
And not to derail this entirely, but I'll just say one of the interesting things was in the 80s, you remember there was always, it was like the same guy who played keyboards touring with a bunch of bands behind the curtain. Cinderella were the only band that were like cool enough to just say, you're on the stage, But yeah, I went to see Poison and I watched that video back, like on YouTube, I don't know, a couple of years ago. And I was like, holy cow, the keyboards are really loud in the mix. And when I was there as a kid, I never even noticed. So,
wow. Okay.
Yeah. Didn't even notice.
Like straight from the soundboard, I guess, type of.
Either that or I just, your perception is different, like especially when you're younger, I guess, and you're excited and you're hearing the songs and, the same as it is today, if they're backing vocals pre-recorded or things like a lot of people, they just don't, they don't even think about it. It's
Oh, okay. Well, I'm jealous of that because I've never, like, my first one was Trash, like I said.
Oh yeah.
And I had the album Trash, Raise Your Fist and Yell, and I borrowed from my friend the Alice Cooper show on cassette. He goes, "This is the real Alice, Dan." So I'm listening. I'm like, some songs I heard on the radio here and there. So anyway, you might understand what I'm trying to get at here. So when I see him live and then he plays School's Out and then he goes longer, I'm like, there's another verse to this song. So I don't know if you remember on the Alice Cooper show, it's like an abridged version of School's Out and it's missing the second part. I'm like, there's an extra part on this song.
There were a few things like that. I have to show you something.
Oh,
fine.
I have that.
Okay, does yours do this?
Yeah, it's upside down. It's upside down. Would have to get it upstairs there.
Yeah, see, it's upside down. I just noticed it. I'm like, I've had this since I was a kid.
Mine's not a gate. Is that a gatefold?
No.
No. Okay.
No, it's just regular old.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, I got to show you that one. Even though I know the format, I know we can't have greatest hits and live albums and compilations.
You could do whatever you want, to be honest.
But it's not. That doesn't go on my list anyway. But that's
But yeah, I have that, but that version of School's Out is like, I was like, my God, there's missing and I love the version of Go to Hell on that mixed with Having a Hell of a Time, My Dear. Wish you were here. My God.
Yeah.
Love that song.
It's been a long time. I have to listen to that.
All right then. So there you go. All right. So there's how we got into that in our first show. So you're ready to show us what your number 5 is?
Okay. And mine are in.
And you can talk about them too a little bit. Why?
Sure. Yeah. No particular order. Okay. But my first one, these are CDs, obviously. Like anybody who doesn't know what a CD is. But anyway, Hey Stupid. This one was 91, I think.
Yeah.
Came out after Trash.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I didn't really like Trash very much. I wasn't a big fan. I tried to like it, but I just found it was, I don't know. It's just like we need hits,
No,
and they were right. I mean, it worked.
It brought in a lot of fans. It brought in me.
Yeah.
And then I did, but I'm like, I went backwards after that.
Yeah, and for this one, to me, it was like a lot of that same formula, even though it wasn't done in the 80s, but there was a lot of that 80s type formula of, big gang vocals and big choruses and overproduced sounds. But somehow it just still worked, and it felt like Alice Cooper had a darker side than Trash.
Yeah, for sure.
And not to mention the special guests like Ozzy was on there, Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. They played Feed My Frankenstein. They played together.
I remember that.
Mick Mars and Nikki Sixx are on it. Who am I missing? That is probably Hugh McDonald, who plays bass with Bon Jovi now. He played most of the bass.
Really? Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah, I remember seeing Bon Jovi once. I saw your rant about and I saw them and
I
Hugh
like
was playing.
I don't like them now, but anyway.
Yeah, well, Hugh was playing bass, and I was like, how he's been there longer than what the original bass player was, and
Yeah.
yet he's still not like a member of
He
the.
is now apparently.
Oh, okay.
Been
Well,
2 years about or something.
like,
2 years, yeah, but still, that's still. Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I
He's
was
like,
I wasn't expecting that album. That's a good choice there. I
yeah,
do love on that Wind Up Toy. That's on that, right?
it's brilliant. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great one. Oh, actually, before just while I'm thinking of
Yeah.
this, just my little disclaimer that some of this might seem odd to anybody who is an Alice Cooper fan. You could take minus the first two albums, like take out Pretties for You
Yeah,
and
same here.
Easy Action. Like they're a little experimental, right? They're
Yeah.
finding their way. But then from there, the original Alice Cooper group, you pretty much have your first five albums already. So instead of just saying, all right, well, this is an easy one, I'm trying to kind of pick from different eras. And these are my top five right now, today, just to, to make it more interesting.
Mine are typical, except there's one surprise. Anyway, I'm glad, but I'm not glad we talked before, because like I said, this is all coming as a surprise. So I was gonna put a newer one, but I was like, I'll put it numbers. I'll put it as my special mention afterwards there, but whatever.
Yeah, you have to have those.
Well, yeah, I like that album. I remember buying it. Like, see, that's when I started buying Alice Cooper. You know, when you go to Record Runner, that's where I went at the time there.
Yeah, I remember.
Go to the day of the release on the Tuesdays. So I got that. Like, that's when I started getting all the Alice Cooper albums the day of the release.
Yeah, and isn't that I don't know, that's something that I think a lot of people are just miss now, and they don't.
That's why I love going to used store just to go through that and just find.
You still get that feeling, right, when you find that treasure, that gem, like the 20-minute workout.
Yeah, that was a rare find there, but
without the visual, it's, I don't know. I'm not going to listen to that music.
Exactly. I don't even think I've listened to the whole thing there, but all right. I'll try with my number 5 here. So I'm going to go with this baby here. I've heard people saying that there's nothing, like you watch other channels and they say apart from School's Out, there's nothing in here. And I'm like, well, you know what? Okay, School's Out, but Gutter Cat versus the Jets, I absolutely love. And I saw that at Trash. I didn't know the song at the time. So again, going backwards, I'm like, oh, that was that song. Man, that song is genius. And of course, I got the Trash is the World on the DVD also. I'm watching that. I'm like, that's actually a very good song there with the Gutter Cat versus the Jets. And then after that comes that little it's called Street Fight. Yeah. Grand finale, man, did I ever play that on the bass for so many times. I know I've talked about this album the other day there, like a couple of weeks ago.
I recall that, actually.
Yeah, but this is, to me, in number 5, I find is very strong. I'm not tired of hearing it. Some songs, like other albums, I'm getting a little tired. But I'll say, this one's number 5. This was like the toss-up between this one and a newer one. I'll say it about. I'll tell about it later there.
And that one, I think, also the bar was set pretty high, so people are comparing it to some other classic albums. I got a picture. I just have to tell you, I got a photo of that actual desk. It was at Cooperstown.
You went there?
Yeah. Well, the crazy thing is, I went there, and like it was, I don't know, a Friday or something, and the following Monday it closed for good. I
heard it closed. Yeah.
I was so lucky that because I almost didn't go. I almost like, well, how much time do we have? But I'm glad that we did, because there's a whole museum of like
exactly
kind of like one of those. Well, it was a rock museum. It wasn't just Alice stuff, but there was, and I had to take a picture of the actual desk with the carvings in it.
My God, that's nice.
Yeah.
Did it come with panties inside?
I don't remember. I took a lot of photos.
All right. What's your number 4 then, Mr. Darren?
Okay, again, in no order at all, is Welcome to My Nightmare. The original Welcome to My Nightmare. Welcome to My Nightmare is pretty good.
I love it. That's the only one I'm missing on vinyl, actually.
Oh, really? Yeah,
Unless I have $200 I want to just throw away just to buy it there. It's ridiculous the prices. But anyway.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, and I just noticed, I don't know why I didn't notice that before, that this one does that too.
Oh my God.
Show, like does that kind of, it's like.
I bought that. I have that also on, what the hell is it called? It's a CD, DVD.
Okay.
Huh. Where the hell do I still have that? Anyway, it's not it's a CD you play in a DVD player, if that makes any sense.
Oh, yeah, that's odd though.
Yeah, it's I'll have to send you a picture whenever if I find it, wherever the hell I put it there, but I had that one. Welcome to My Nightmare. I think $1 Billion Babies also.
Yeah.
On that format. But anyway, yeah, go on. Sorry.
Strange how that is, like there's just this short period of time or something that they.
Yeah, a little format nobody ever heard of or cared.
Yeah, nobody will ever use. Yeah, well, I mean, I had a lot of cassettes, I'm sure you did too. And now I realize what a horrible system that actually was. They just, stretching and.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that terrible. CD, is it based? Is that the silver one there where the. When they first came with CDs, that's taped from the master tape. No, it's taped from a cassette. I think, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah.
That's why the remasters, they're.
Yeah, I don't have the vinyl. I wish I did, because I bet that would sound like it's supposed to sound. But
yeah,
this is still great.
It's still good. Yeah, I'm being picky here, but.
But I mean, this when you think about it. Department of Youth, like when you just read everything off, Cold Ethel, Stephen years ago, all that, The Awakening, all that's like,
yeah,
absolutely. And Bob Ezrin did wonders, and yeah, Dick Wagner I think played a lot of this stuff. Who's
Steve Hunter I think too.
Yeah, like just brilliant players.
Yeah.
And knew how to create an atmosphere, and that's I think where he was going. And
it's a good one. I like that one.
Out, yeah. Black Widow. I mean, you're gonna have Vincent Price. That's
that little intro there to the Black Widow, the Devil's Food, where he talks there. My God, I know that by heart.
Of course, yeah.
And of course, I remember us in high school. He goes, "My God, Dan, he's cheering for the spiders." I'm like, well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, mine, I guess, will be. This baby right here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, again, there's not a bad song on this, first of all. I love this album here. There's a reason I didn't tell the story when we first started, but when we first saw Alice Cooper, my friend lent me Alice Cooper show and this on cassette. And at the time, finding this on cassette was extremely, extremely difficult. So, I'm looking at this. I'm like, man, this cover is ugly, and I'm listening to it. I'm like, my God, these songs are friggin' good. Like they're really good. Like Clones, which I finally saw live.
Yeah.
Were you there for that show when he played in Ottawa? Clones?
You know what? I might be responsible for that.
Oh yeah,
might be. I don't know. But it wasn't much. It was probably a few months earlier. No, it couldn't have been even that long. But I remember I was. With Chuck Garrick, and we were in.
Yeah, I know you know him. Yeah.
Yeah, we were in Kingston, and he was listening to some of my music, and on my laptop, I have Clones, and Clones come up, and he's like, look at you, we got Clones on there, and then they start playing it, and so I wonder if he didn't go and suggest it or something.
Well, that's good because man,
could you imagine if that was my fault?
Well, then thank you.
Yeah, everybody thank me.
But anyway, this one here, like, is this again? I kind of discovered Alice Cooper, all his albums in one shot, so I didn't have time to evolve. Like starting from Trash, I was able to evolve, but all the stuff before Trash was bought like almost in a week or two there. At the time.
Well, that's
so this one was like, this is good.
Yeah, when I first started listening to Alice Cooper when I was a kid, like I said, about 7 years old, I got one album, and then the next week or so I got another one, and then you go hunting for anything you can get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I bought those more at Discus. It was at Place d'Orleans that they had that. That was a music store we had.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Discus. That's how they. Yeah, Discus.
I don't know that I've ever been there, but I know I've heard it.
Yeah, that was the only one in New Orleans at the time. So yeah, I'm putting this as my number 4. And Headlines, I love the lyrics to that. Hilarious. So that's
yeah.
All right.
All right, what are we on? Oh, okay. All right, this is going to be fun. I think I'm out of order here. Everything's out of order. Doesn't really matter. They're not in an order. I'm just going to grab this one. This, I think.
Ooh.
See that?
Yeah.
Last Temptation. This one came out, I think it was mid-90s and 90. I think I wrote it down. Maybe? 94. I wrote it down because I'm terrible with dates. I can never remember anything. But it wasn't until, really only a few years ago that it hit me where I started listening to the whole thing and going, this album should have been a huge hit. Yeah. All of these songs were great. Chris Cornell's all over it. He's good. It's just, these songs should have been bigger. The whole album's like a concept album. But I think timing is everything.
It was at the time of the grunge, whereas nobody.
Yeah, but having Chris Cornell even didn't give it enough.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just think it was timing, because had this come out at a different time, it would have been monster.
Yeah.
So that's my thought on it.
Do you have the comics that went with it?
That's a good question. I don't think I do.
I have them somewhere. I'm sure. Yeah, there's 3 of them.
You'd think I would know if I did.
Yeah, but it came with 3. The Last Temptation comics. I got those there.
Oh,
they're good there. It's I love Sideshow on that album. Is that at the one at the end where it's Cleansed by Fire?
Sideshow's the first song. Cleansed by Fire is the last song.
Yeah, the last one. And is that the one where at the end goes Steven, or is that Wind Up Toy?
Wind Up Toy.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. But you never know. Might do that, but like
one of those 2.
Yeah, just amazing. Great album. All right, that's my whatever number.
All right.
We're on.
Well, then my number. I'm not going to talk much about it since we almost already talked about it a lot. But, welcome to.
We had to do this at some point. I was hoping, he's got a lot of albums, but
he's got 27. That's why I was like, okay, we got to do maybe 5 if we're already at 23 minutes talking. So imagine talking about 27 albums each.
Yeah. Well, sometimes people will say, what are your favorite top 10 albums? Not Alice Cooper albums, just albums. And I'm like, well, you can pretty much take any Alice Cooper albums and throw them in my top 10. So
yeah, for sure. So anyway, I'm not going to repeat what you said there, but I love this one here too. And I remember at the time my friend's going, he's looking at this, he's like, that doesn't look metal. I'm like, well, it's not really metal, because we're all basing ourselves at the time with what came out with which was Constrictor and Raise Your Fist and Yell.
Yeah.
It's not like that at all, but very beautiful album here.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's see. All right.
Oh, see, that's the first one I ever got.
See, this is my thing. I'd have to say, Constrictor was the sort of the first of this, era, but this one, I think musically got it together better. It just they
have a real drummer on that one too.
Yeah, well, there was something missing.
It's an electric drum on Constrictor, if my memory serves correctly.
Well, and some of it, the Man Behind the Mask and stuff like that, which they started playing live.
Yeah, I saw that with.
I might have even suggested that, because I kept going, why that would be a great song to hear with the band, But
that was when Orianthi was in the band. They were playing He's Back.
Yeah,
Right now, with Nita, they're playing from that album.
They're playing,
Roses on White Lace, I think.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites on here, but Gail and Rose on White Lace, Freedom. And the one thing I'll say about it is, of course, it is a little bit, 80s, because that's what it is, but it's just something really strong about it. The musicianship is great. Kane Roberts was just on fire too.
He's good, yeah.
He was, and he still is good, but this was the right match, you know, and it just.
Oh, Chop 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 is probably my favorite off of that album. It's the structure of it and that little part at the end when the guitar and he's kind of going offbeat with the drum there.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I love that part.
Yeah.
Standing on a corner with their bright red lips. And with that part there, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very atmospheric and cool that he was doing that at this time too, because and that's what I thought when I saw the Constrictor show it was like taking it to places like, you know, something Kiss would say, you know, but Kiss would say it because Gene and Paul are like they're gonna go, we're gonna show the you know, the kids how it's done, right? But Alice didn't say it, he just did it.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, and that's I'm not dissing Kiss, I love Kiss, but it's just that's one of the differences.
Oh, I know. I totally get it there.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got you've got one left, so I've got two, right?
Yeah, I think that's
okay. So I'll put my number 2 then, which is this guy right here.
Oh, yes.
Apparently, not many people like this one, but I like. It's not metal, apart from the song "Go to Hell" and maybe. But "I Never Cry" is beautiful.
Yeah, that's amazing.
"Wish You Were Here." I love that song.
Yeah.
Give the kid a break when he's making a deal with the devil there.
Yeah. Great songwriting.
Watch your language, kid. Anyway, I listen to this, and people say, well, it's one of his weaker ones. I'm like, I don't find it. I love this album here. I can listen to it when you're not in the mood for something heavy there, of course, but even Chasing Rainbows and Going Home, I love a lot too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 2 right here is this, mind you, this, the cover is a little cheap because this is from $1 Billion Babies where they're holding the babies, right?
I know, and I didn't know that until the other day. I saw did you
the other day,
yeah.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, I found that out. And I was like, okay, that's a little cheap for a cover there, but whatever. The music decides what counts.
Yeah, but they did a good. I mean, yeah, they did a good job with it. But honestly, I don't think. Yeah, I don't. Maybe I've heard it before, but I just found that out like I don't know a few days ago on Facebook. I saw there's a Bob Ezrin group or something, or maybe an Alice Cooper thing, something. Somebody posted that, and they posted the original picture in that one, and
you're like, "Oh my God, I was this years old when I found out this."
Yeah, how did I miss that? Yeah. Oh, okay.
All right then.
All right. Here's my. This would have to probably be my number 1.
And anyway. I think I know what it is, but I'm just gonna say, I think. But go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, I was right because you posted it on either Instagram,
probably,
or Facebook at one time.
Yeah,
but I think it was the vinyl though, right?
Yeah, I have that at the vinyl. Wait, there it is. Yeah. These are all when I have these vinyls. That's from when I was a kid. Like that's the one. That's the album I got, and this one.
I don't have the greatest hits yet on.
What's amazing about that, I think this is so cool, is like these things are not in the best of shape, of course, because they're like really used. Yeah. But when you take this out.
Oh yeah, I love the artwork inside it.
Yeah, that's got that. So it's really cool. That one, and of course, I know we're not doing the greatest hits thing, but I think Love It to Death was the first one I got, and I got this about a week later. And when you're a kid, I mean, 7 years old, I didn't know greatest hits didn't mean anything to me. It was just songs, right?
Yeah,
this was the album. And I remember it's like a playlist, right? Of just a perfect playlist.
I wish I had that greatest hits when I went to see him live, because I would have known more songs.
Yeah, and because really, to this day, a lot of those are still played, and it's those. But it's like like I said, playlist or mixtape where you get used to the song that comes, you know what's coming up, and it's just that. But yeah, with Love It to Death, there's just not a dud. The whole thing.
No.
And when it goes into Second Coming and Ballad of Dwight Fry, it's like
I play that on the piano. I can play that part on the piano. Love it.
Well, I was listening to the vinyl, a little bit after Christmas, and I remember thinking how much I never noticed how much my own style of writing and that was influenced by that album.
Yeah.
All these years later, but that's kind of, I mean, to anybody from the outside would go, well, duh, but like
exactly.
I didn't hear it until I like really listened and went, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I like that album too a lot.
Not a bad influence, I suppose.
We always laughed at the Black Juju, the structure of it.
Yeah.
Whereas like I find that song great too there, and
well, you remember one of my other bands was called Black Juju, right?
Then I must have seen you live then.
Yes.
Because I saw that band open for somebody at Obsession.
Probably. We played with Killer Dwarfs.
Yeah, that I was there for that.
Yeah, that was kind of a reunion.
Yes, it was a reunion, and there was a song called something about Elvis, something.
Oh, Alice Cooper Kiss, Elvis Presley and God, maybe.
Yeah. See, I remember
that was like kind of what it was about. It was like just
Okay, well, I remember. Okay, I was there for that.
Wow, that's pretty funny.
The Killer Dwarfs.
I forgot about that song.
Was that?
I forgot about that song.
That's the only one I remember the name sort of there. Sorry. Okay, well, my number one would be this guy right here.
Of course.
And it's not like the hits, it's Halo of Flies.
Yes.
To me, that is like a song and a half. And when I first heard that, I'm like, wow, like, and of course you got the Killer and the Dead Babies at the end there, where I don't know, I could play this album again from A to Z with, like I said, of course, Under My Wheels is your hit.
Yeah.
When I said I liked violins now, when you have Desperado near the end, when you got the violins. That's
one of my favorites still, Desperado. Yeah. It's just,
but Halo Flies to me is like, I like Elected is my favorite Alice Cooper song of all time, but Halo Flies is number 2 by not by much there. Like it's love. And I finally saw him playing it live. It was on the Eyes of Alice Cooper tour at Massey Hall.
I saw that one too. Yeah.
Really?
Not there, but I saw the tour.
Okay.
In fact, I think that might have been the first time I actually met him, and he signed my CD, and he was saying that the eyes on my the cover that I have, like, is in different regions or different colors, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
And he goes, I think those are actually, that's a rare one because they're like purple or something, and so yeah, I don't know, that's kind of cool, but yeah, I mean, Dennis Dunaway in that early stuff was
great bass player. I love
my favorite bass player. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's in my top 5.
And I think you probably saw on Instagram, we talked about it. I think he has a book out.
I have it. Yeah, it's.
You do? Oh, good.
Where is it? Do you have it?
I got it through interlibrary loan through the library, and I didn't want to return it. I wanted to keep it because I loved it so much. It was a great read.
Yeah, this one was good. It was a good
I didn't
book.
want it to end. I wanted to keep
it's a good one there. I have also Golf Monster.
Yeah, I have that. I do own that one. And
it made me want to play golf for at least a good week.
Yeah, for a good week.
I mean, it's a good read too. I thought it was hilarious too, but that one was a good book too.
Yeah.
So I that's the only type of books I buy is rock autobiographies. So surprise. Yeah. I have
a hard time not reading those too. And sometimes even artists that I'm not even really into, I find sometimes I'll get a different perspective. Like, I don't really care for Bruce Springsteen much. I totally respect what he does. It's just not I don't relate, I guess. But his book was a big old book, and it's really good. It's a really good read. But here's my honorable mention. Because
I saw him for that tour in Toronto at the Docks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
where Cheap Trick opened.
Oh, really? Jeez, I wish I would have seen that.
It was But see, you know what? I'll just dig it out from right here. But it's going to be a CD. My honorable mention is this one here. The reason I think of that is this guy right here.
Yeah, yeah. See, what color are the eyes on yours?
Red.
Yeah, mine are purple. Yeah, yeah, and that's a great album too.
Oh man of the year. What do you want from me? Between high school and the only thing I don't like about this is what's that?
So just killer guitar solos.
Yeah, the first half there is like so good. The only thing I don't like is Detroit City. I'm like, he's got a version on this, then a version on Breadcrumbs, and a version on the last album that he came out with. I'm like, okay, enough.
I thought I recognized that.
But it's a different.
It is different. But I do like
than on this.
Yeah, but Detroit Stories, I do really like it. I think there's a lot of strong stuff on there.
Yeah,
and it sounds
took me a while to get into it there, but yeah, it's a very, very good one here. The reason I like this a lot too was because it came right after Dragontown, which I kind of like. Yeah, I was like a little
Yeah,
it was good when you first hear it.
Yeah,
but then when you start re-listening to the other stuff, I'm like, man, this is depressing, man. It's
well, I think he probably realized because Brutal Planet came out and it was similar, and Phil X played a lot of that guitar on there too, which a lot of people don't know. Who's playing with Bon Jovi?
I did not know that. Well, I know Phil X from Triumph and Bon Jovi.
Yeah. Phil X, Canadian guy. Anybody who doesn't know who Phil X is, look him up. Somebody who deserves every bit of success he's ever had because he's just absolutely killer. But anyway, yeah, he wrote a lot of that stuff, that guitar, pretty wacky stuff. He did all that. But then when Dragontown came out, there was some really good songs on it, but there's also some draggy kind of.
Yeah.
And I think Alice probably was like, all right, let's have fun again.
I saw that tour in Hamilton, and it was like, it's probably my least favorite Alice Cooper show I've ever seen. There was missing something. It was just, again, and this is fun, like, as opposed to it was.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's probably it, because Alice has a sense of humor about even the dark stuff has humor in it a lot of times.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I think, and there's even when there isn't, a lot of times there's a bit of a wink and a nod, like there's stuff like that he's being clever, and that's the fun of it. But I think Dragontown was, although what is it? The Jessie Jane song that's on there.
That's on Dirty Diamonds, isn't it?
Yes. What was the song I'm thinking of? No, that's on Dirty Diamonds. Oh crap!
No, ain't that Just Like a Woman, or?
No, it's nothing like that. It's
Dragontown has Triggerman, Deeper,
Triggerman's
Dragontown, Sex, Death and Money, Fantasy Man, Somewhere in the Jungle, Disgraceland.
Disgraceland, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, the kind of Elvis.
That's an Elvis.
With the.
I do like the bonus track. Don't Clowns Will Eat Me. I don't know if you know about that one. The bonus track on this.
I don't know if I have that. I've heard. I know the title, but I can't recall for some reason.
Yeah, it's on the.
I don't have that version that you have in your hand.
It's on the vinyl too. It's the newer vinyl there that they have there. Well, anyway, it's because it comes like this here. It's a.
Oh, okay.
It's a little cardboard thing there to.
Yeah.
But anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. Well, first of all, I would.
Hey, this one is signed, actually. Huh.
Oh, I got something signed. I was like, when I met him, I was like, trying to think of what I got him signed the other day. I did get a certificate saying that I'm crazy, like for the We're All Crazy.
Oh, nice.
A mental. Forget where I put that thing. I should have, take out some more props here. But
was that one of the? Because I think you did an episode about meet and greets, and was that one of them? Okay, I've never done that yet. I always wonder how that works, but
it's. Yeah. I mean, Alice was one of the cheaper ones if you compare it to Kiss, and when we got the Black Sabbath ones, that was like that would have cost us $1,000. and it's a Black Sabbath, but you only get to meet Ozzy. Kiss, it's what, 24 or 2,500 bucks or something like that, but you get like an acoustic set of requests, picture wall for them. Anyway, I'm not that I'm, but Alice was like 600 bucks.
Yeah, well, it's, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about. I guess my thought is if people want to pay it and it means something to them, it's kind of like Cameo. You know, where I was talking to somebody about that the other day, like you know what
that is,
Cameo. Somebody does a birthday greeting or whatever, like, and you pay for it, and that's okay. I don't know. I have no judgment against anybody who wants it or does it. You know, it's their thing. If you know, nobody's forcing anybody to pay for it. And
exactly.
But if I paid like 400 bucks and didn't get drunk Vince Neil mispronouncing my name, I was
just gonna say that.
I would be disappointed. I want drunk Vince Neil. Otherwise, deals off.
That was the first thing when you said Cameo. I'm like, okay, at least you wouldn't get a cameo like Vince Steele where he's like drunk on a golf course. Hey, buddy, happy birthday! I'm like, I saw that. I'm like, wow, somebody paid for that.
And you mispronounced the guy's name or called him a different name or something like that.
Saw that was the first time I heard of Cameo when I saw that. Yeah. But Alice was super nice.
Yeah.
Very sober, and
Yeah. Well, and it's something I've often been asked that, like, you know, as a musician and doing interviews and things, and people will say, well, what is it about Alice like that? Because he's usually my first, like, this is my biggest influence. Of course, there are millions of others, literally, but Alice, I always say he's a monster on stage and a gentleman off stage. You know, he's a nice guy. He's sincere.
Oh my God, he's super nice, that guy.
And like, actually, when you meet him, he actually takes an interest. And I've heard that about Frank Zappa too, like how he was. And there's a connection there, obviously, because they were signed to Frank's label in the early days.
Oh, you meant 7 p.m. Okay.
That's a,
you know what I'm talking about.
That's a great story. Yes. Yeah. That's a wonderful story. But yeah, it's one thing to be a crazy rock star and that, but nowadays, I mean, you got to be cool to people, right? Like,
like, you can't be a jerk to whatever. And that's another
that's another episode.
Exactly. I'll have to go look about though that the ticket stub one and I know exactly where they are. Like they're
me too, but I have to go through them all.
Yeah, I wanted to make myself like a big mural about it, like a not a mural, but like a painting size,
a collage or something.
Yeah, collage, and put them all like that, and put a varnish on top of it or something there.
Oh yeah.
So,
or just even well, that would work too. Yeah, then you can have a pointer and like.
Exactly.
Pay attention, kids. Hey, here's another Alice Cooper thing. I loved and still love Twisted Sister. It was like a really fun band, and Be Cruel to Your School.
Yeah.
Did you ever see, that was a great.
I was actually, you'll laugh. Well, you must have seen my vinyl of the day today, which was Under the Blade by Twisted Sister.
Yes, I did. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I bought those off of Discogs, and it was Under the Blade, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, and Come Out and Play. Yeah. And I was at Come Out and Play. But I was at side 2 which is the Be Cruel to Their School. But I said, okay, I got to go down and do the episode with Darren. Yeah. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there's a video, but even on YouTube, the only video I can find is like really pixelated. It's not very good quality.
I have it. I have a Twisted Sister DVD. Okay, I have it, and it's on that. Okay. And they're like, and they joke about it. It goes, first of all, it was banned because of how gory it was, but of course they played Thriller. But at the end, you see a zombie walking with a sink, and the guy's like, "That was actually a purpose there we put everything in this video, including the kitchen sink."
Yeah.
So that's true. He was explaining that, but yeah, I have it. Like it's on YouTube there, but a little grainy, like you said there.
Yeah,
there's good quality. Like I'll lend it to you one day if I ever.
Yeah. Ever leave the house? Yeah, I think same Brian Setzer played the guitar solo in it too, because I believe that album was supposed to be that wasn't Come Out and Play. I think, or maybe it was. No, I think it was the one, Love Is for Suckers. One of them was supposed to be a D. Snyder solo album.
Love Is for Suckers was supposed to be the D. Snyder solo one, yeah.
That was the one, yeah. Yeah, I knew that, but now we're talking about Twisted Sister. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll do it. Like I said, now that I have all their albums there, and I'm not getting. I have Still Hungry on CD, but I'm not getting that on vinyl. Yeah, that's not worth it.
No, the first one, like Stay Hungry, I figured. I don't know why they re-recorded it. I really don't, because it's not better. I don't think it's not better.
They seem to think, but I don't.
The performance isn't better. It's not that it sucks, but it's sort of pointless.
It's like anybody that re-records an album, it's never better. Yeah. I don't know anybody that's done it. Apparently, Wasp have re-recorded the Crimson Idol. Okay. I've listened to parts. I'm like,
well, both Alice and Kiss have done that in segments. Like Alice does Alice.
I have that, yeah. And it's not better.
No, but sometimes, like, Taylor Swift just recently got a bunch of attention for doing something similar because she's Taylor Swift. But some of these bands and lesser known bands with signed to small labels that, have their only sort of fan hits that they couldn't even, like, they had no control over because of these, crappy deals. They've done the same thing. People I've known doing this for years, where they re-record their songs just to regain control of that,
Gotcha. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So,
but it just doesn't make it better. But anyway, that's another.
No, it's true, and that's something about stuff like this is when I listen to it, it's like imperfect. There are things where you can just hear things that are like wouldn't happen today because you would edit it out, you would clean it up, you'd snap it to a grid, you'd do all this, but.
Like the beginning of Hallowed Be Thy Name's got like sort of like a take two kind of moment, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. The way the drums come in and but that's right. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Hallowed Be My Name. Sorry.
Yeah. And that's just that's the charm of it,
Yeah.
No,
we don't live in that now it must be perfect.
Yeah, well, I saw in your rant video about the overrated bands. Yeah. I laughed when you were talking about Rolling Stones because the first thing you mentioned was the tempo of stuff, like that they didn't have a click track or something. And I went to learn. I was playing in a band years ago where we were just a cover band, but we had to play a number because it was a show band. We played a number of Rolling Stones songs, and I remember that learning, I don't know, it was Honky Tonk Woman or something like that. And one of the things I noticed was the dynamics of how much the drums pulled back in the verses. And by the end of the song, it was sped up a lot.
Yeah.
There was just but it was all feel, right? And
I know. But at least Honky Tonk Woman kind of flows. But you got to go listen to the original 2000 Man. I'm like, oh my God.
I haven't heard that.
Makes no sense. It's not the same. Like Kiss made it a like 4/4 type of song, But anyway.
I wonder if Peter Criss played on it. That's
what's that?
So I wonder if Peter Criss. Yeah, no, he would have played on it at that point, probably.
Maybe.
When was
that? Was Dynasty.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe they were already kind of.
I know Ant and Fig was on Unmasked, which was right after there, but.
Yeah, it's weird that happens, and even one of the Alice Cooper records, when it was still the original band, had another player doing a lot of the lead stuff because Glenn was already like in rough shape. And,
yeah.
That's sad, but at least they had a good reason for that. It wasn't like
exactly. It was not like
he couldn't cut it. It was he was ill. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, did you know that I Hate You, the song on Detroit Stories, is all about them,
and
it's
Glenn.
all them singing a different verse.
Yeah, back to each other.
At first, I'm like, my God, this song is really hard to get into. Then you read it, what it's about, and it's about. And when he says, okay, and that I hate you because of the empty space you left on stage. Well, that's about Glenn.
About Glenn, yeah. Yeah, and that's too bad. It's sad that he, seeing the band reunite, that he's not here for that, but that's, and that's but a lot of talk about that in Dennis's book too.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one there.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Well,
this was a blast.
Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for joining us for this, sir. So this will be posted. Well, you'll see it's Monday. No, sorry, Tuesday morning. Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings is usually when I post this there. So we'll see it then. If everybody want to come back with other ideas, let me know. Out there, if other people, now that I know how to do this.
It was easier than we thought.
Yeah, it's actually a lot easier and cheaper. Well, that's if you're watching this on YouTube, then you know it actually worked 110%. So anybody out there too, if you have an idea or you want to join in too one time, maybe we'll have multiple people one day. I don't know. We'll see.
It'll be like a meet and greet though. They have to pay like $400 to do it or something.
Exactly. Except e-transfers,
yeah.
But yeah, anyway, yeah. Thank you for joining us for this.
Oh, thanks for having me.
And on that note, I will say cheers, and I'll just stop recording.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next episode, guys. First of all, tell your friends, and thank you for subscribing.
Oh yeah, and subscribe to my channel too.
There you go. Well, I'm gonna put that in the description below when this is posted here. Thanks, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.